Hello, I hope you're having a good day or night wherever you are. I know for sure, even without searching, that there's absolutely no videos like this and pointed this out, because there's like way too much people who actually like the ship or support it, or ship it, but I decided to make an analysis video on my thoughts on davesport and the reasons on why I don't ship that. So let's go on with it. Part 1. Traumatic brain injury and flirtatiousness. So obviously, because of the traumatic surgeries that Henry gave Dave, he has TBI, or traumatic brain injury. It is explaining here that TBI can for sure affect the flirting or love side of the brain. Traumatic brain injury, TBI, can significantly alter flirting and social interaction, often due to frontal lobe damage affecting impulse control, leading to inappropriate advances, increased or decreased sex drive, or difficulty reading social cues like recognizing flirtatious intent. So, I point at this out because, Dave's romantic behavior towards Jack. So if you actually, so I studied about this, and apparently, Dave surprisingly does not have feelings towards Jack. This is a romantic behavior from his, from his TBI, and he's not fully aware of it. Not the fact that Dave actually, takes his way across the law to do anything for his advances for Jack Kennedy. Now, theory. I feel like the only reason he yelled at Dave Trapp was because he felt like he could not tell how Dave felt, or else it would result in suicide. So because of Dave's feral nature, he decided to yell at him because of his lack of emotion, so it would not affect the real Dave. I'm sorry if that was so fast and stupid. I just didn't know how to say it how else. So, yeah. Part 2. Stalking. This can be disturbing for some. If you are disturbed by stalking or are underage, I would stop here. So, I don't remember really which one it is. I think it's like DeSaf 1 or 3, but I remember there's a part where Dave literally goes to Jack's house and he stalks him, and he's like, call me Big D word Davy or something like that, and he says other flirtatious things to Jack, and I don't really remember the way Jack's reaction was like, but I just remember that he was just like, okay, or he was like trying to process what's happening, or something like that, and he was like, are you in my house? Or something. I don't know. Yeah, sorry, I can't really get the, I guess what you might call it, proof of that part, because I have no freaking clue on where to find, God, I'm bad at speaking, screenshots or any free stuff like that, because of this video maybe getting copyrighted. Yeah, I meant to actually say the other word, copyrighted, but yeah, sorry I don't have some of that proof on hand because of it. Now let's just go on to the other thing, because most people know what I'm talking about. Dave goes into a room and blah, blah, blah. Another problem I've noticed is that, this probably is one of the things that actually makes me angry, but people actually glorify or romanticize the stalking that Dave does to Jack Kennedy, and honestly, especially when they draw like 2000s animation memes, make it cutesy, or like make it kawaii or something like that. It makes me angry and makes me feel like that users have a disregard for people who've actually dealt with the tragedies or horrors of being actually stalked in real life. And yeah. Part 3, he murdered his sister. Okay, so this is very tragic and really fricked up. Dee got murdered by Dave Miller, and you might not actually believe it. You're like, wait, what? She got murdered by Dave Miller? Why the heck is it him? Why is it him? Such a nice guy. But as you may not know, you know how Jack Kennedy has that kind of like tsundere personality towards Dave in the third game, but in the second and first game it's more like resentment and some anger. Yeah. So technically, I kind of have a theory that, Jack Kennedy has some trauma from Dave because of that, but he actually has some hate and, even, deep rage towards Dave still and a grudge, for murdering Dee, due to how close he was to her. But he hides it with kindness and niceness in the third game. As you can see by highlighted text that I highlighted there, Dee was actually 6 if you do the math between the years of when she died. And that's actually a still developing age of the brain of a child. So that's in early childhood. It's very serious. I'm sorry if this is a crappingly taken screenshot because I didn't screenshot the tabs, but not screenshot, what? Clip out or edit out the tabs, but I just feel really bad for Jack here, honestly. Like, I'm actually kind of getting emotional right now because you can literally see in that picture on the type of relationship that Jack lost. Okay, I'm coming to tears. Part 4, he spring locked Jack. I saw this somewhere, but I think it was, don't get me wrong, it could have been in DISAF 1 or 2, but I remember that there was actually a part of the game where Dave Miller actually spring-locked Jack Kennedy. But, again, I can't get that much proof because, copyright. And also because, I'm sorry there wasn't a lot of information, but if you ask me for information, it'd be hard as heck to explain. So, I'm so sorry. Part 5, he makes Jack feel uncomfy through the series. So, as you can see on this, casual option menu, you can see that, on some of the things that he actually says, I feel like he shows his his kind of resentment through the refuse options, or even the fourth one, anything to get away from this job. Well, I know that he hates his job. For why, but yeah, but I also know that, I do know that he actually accepts the crimes that he does with Dave Miller and stuff like that in his non-feral form, but he does that. I think, in my theory, it's because, for the sake of, getting enough money to change your location to something else so somebody else could own it, or maybe doing something like so stupid to the point that someone else could own the location and he goes to, prison for life, because, duh, it's murder. But so like, yeah, yeah, as you can see, like that, and like countless parts of the series, he's uncomfortable, like, as heck, like, about Dave's request is, and even like some of his impulses that he has towards him. But from the impulses, he kind of can't help that because of his TBI, but aka traumatic brain injury, Dave Miller. But he again, Dave doesn't actually have feelings for Jack. That's a symptoms of his TBI, or what that means, again, to remind you, in case if you don't know, TBI means it's traumatic brain injury. I also kind of know the TBI thing from experience too, because I've literally grown up with disabled people, and I'm disabled myself, and I've known people with traumatic brain injury actually growing up. So yes, I know, like, this is like a fact, but I know everyone with traumatic brain injury is different, this is how Dave Miller deals with it. Also, you might argue or like debate and say, oh, but your bio says you're autistic, or like your info around your SNSs say that you're autistic. So you obviously don't know the social cues of Jack Kennedy or Dave Miller's flirtatious moments. But because of close study for TBI and some education, I actually sort of intuitively know what's going on here. I also want to note too that Dave Miller is very close to Jack, but of course that's like more like, I think, like a brother to brother relationship than like a boyfriend to boyfriend or a husband to husband relationship, because of because of how, like, because of the social cues that Dave shows if you really look into it and think about it. And also I do agree that they're close, but because of how long they've been knowing each other, how many things they've been knowing each other, how many times they worked together, they collaborated, did business things together, etc., etc. But I do not see it romantic. I see it like family, more than platonic, but does not mean romantic. More than platonic as in meaning brother to brother, not husband to husband. Thank you so much. If you made it this far, that makes me so happy. Okay, please check out my other social medias. Like, it might be in my bio description on my YouTube channel or something like that. But thank you so much for making it this far. I'm blushing in happiness in real life. But please like, subscribe, and follow for more content. I don't really have a set posting for anything. I just post whatever I want, but I post things within my multi-fandoms. So yeah, and Day Shift at Freddy's is one of them. So yeah, thank you so much for making it this far. I hope you have a good one and a good day and good night. Bye.